Start. Oh shit. Okay. Well, we're going. I didn't realize it went that fast. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MyTakeAthletics Podcast. This is episode 3 now. Second episode with Corey. I feel like I came a little more prepared this time versus last episode. We kind of just winged it a little bit. So first of all, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I have a bit of a headache, but what else is new? Yeah, dude, I got myself in the podcast mood. I was watching Impulsive for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got myself all ready to shoot a podcast. I actually saw one of the funniest episodes they've ever shot. It was their most recent episode. You'll have to watch it after this because it was fucking hilarious.
I watched a little bit of it the other day.
No, the one they just released today.
Oh, they do release them on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, so that episode was absolutely hysterical. It said, "Dear Mr. President," and it wasn't about politics at all. It was the funniest thing. Like, they did not talk about politics at all. Like, at the beginning, like, just about the election and like talking about voting and stuff. But the rest of the podcast, it was like, you know how they talk about like the dick sand?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, it was a lot of stuff about sex, and I don't know. It was hilarious. It was so funny. I love that podcast, bro. It's so well put together. All right. So I got an interesting image for you, and I want to show it to you. This is a football thing, and I think you're going to have a field day with this. I want you to tell me if there are any inaccuracies. So it's the NFL power rankings according to CBS Sports. All right.
All right.
I want you to tell me if you feel like these are accurate. So number 1 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you feel about that? You feel like that's
I 100% agree. They're the
right?
only.
They're undefeated, like obviously. The Kansas City Chiefs.
I would put them at third.
Who would you put above them?
I think it's the team that's next.
Seattle
Wilson.
Seahawks.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Dude,
I think
Russell
so.
Wilson is easily the most underrated quarterback in the NFL right now.
The front runner for this year at the moment.
I know. He's so good. Like, he's the most mobile quarterback in the NFL too. Like, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 4.
I need to look at this list. Hold on.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Because I didn't post it. Yeah, so we're looking at like a CBS Sports power rankings for the NFL, and Corey played football, so I wanted to get his thoughts on it because to me, like, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, I can look at like the basic teams, the teams that are doing well, and be like, okay, but I don't know.
I would put the Ravens above the Bucks. Same with the Bills.
Okay, well, explain your reasoning.
Just look at how good the Ravens did against the Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to do a 2-minute drill with 0 timeouts, and they almost did it.
Yeah.
But Lamar just fucked up by getting stopped on that.
He's a young quarterback. You got to give him some leeway.
No, I know. But the Bills are just insane this year.
No, the Bills like caught me off guard, and being going to school in upstate New York, like everybody loves the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I think
I was not.
So I think it goes 1 Steelers, 2 Seahawks, 3 Chiefs, 4 Ravens, 5 Bills, 6 Bucks, 7 Cardinals.
Really, the Cardinals? I don't actually know anything about anywhere past the Ravens.
They're very good this year. Like, they're absurd.
Is Larry Fitzgerald still with them?
Huh?
Is Larry Fitzgerald still with them?
And they have DeAndre Hopkins now as well.
Oh yeah, he got traded. I forgot about that. That must be why the Texans suck.
The Texans do suck.
Yeah.
I put the Colts at number 8, Saints at number 9, Packers at number 10.
Yeah, you're not a big Saints guy. I remember texting you about this, and you thought they were pretty terrible.
When?
You remember when I texted you? I had a friend. Huh?
This was like last year, if anything.
No, I'm just saying. Remember, I texted you. Oh, because the Saints were playing the Packers. It was like opening night or something, and I texted you. I was like, "Yo, my friend is a big Saints fan. What do you think about Drew Brees?" And you're like, compared to Aaron Rodgers, he's dog shit.
Dog shit, but as of right now, based off like the way the teams have been playing, and now that we've given it a couple weeks,
Yeah.
Saints are better than the Packers, and I'm a Packers fan. Packers want to finish a game right now.
I gotta admit, I'm a Cam Newton fan, and the Patriots are terrible this year. Why do you
Mahomes
think
is
that is? Why do you think do you think it's a coaching problem or a player issue?
a player.
Really? You don't think Bill Belichick's a bad coach without Tom Brady? Because
No,
his record without Tom Brady is 51-66.
still.
Really? Maybe he's just adjusting to having a new quarterback
I think
because he's had him for the
Justin.
last 20 years.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess those wins and losses came when Tom Brady was out.
Yeah.
So he was probably playing with the second string guy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Do you think Cam Newton's a bad fit there?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you feel like Cam Newton belongs? I want to hear this.
I can see him on the Rams.
Really? For Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
I thought Jared Goff was pretty solid.
Cam Newton's absurd, dude.
He's really good. There's a reason I like him.
Mobile, and he has a pretty good arm.
He's tall too.
Yeah. So I would start him over Jared Goff.
Really? Do you think that's a hot take, or do you think other people would agree with that?
I think some people would agree with that, but not a lot.
I think LA fans would be pretty pissed at that. But I don't know. I think that's the problem is Cam is a system quarterback.
I could see him on the Falcons.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's not super impressive. But no, that's the thing about Cam though is he's a system quarterback. Like you can't really do anything with him unless he fits the system. That's Tom Brady's super moldable, which is why the Bucs are doing so well right now. Because Tom Brady, while he's the greatest of all time, he's still super coachable, can play in pretty much any system. Even though we've only seen him on the Patriots and the Buccaneers, like I don't know. Also I feel like he's always had a good receiver core around him.
I feel like he could be a solid backup for the Bills.
A backup? Who would he be behind for the Bills?
Holy shit, I forgot his name already. Josh Allen.
Cam Newton's better than Josh Allen. I'm sorry. Cam Newton's been to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton's had an undefeated season.
Josh Allen's stats for the year. He's 186 for 277.
Okay. Who are his receivers?
2,172 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Now here's Russell Wilson's. 183 for 256, 2,151 yards, 26 TDs, 6 interceptions. And now let's go look at Cam's stats.
Okay, hold on. So how long has Josh Allen been in the league? Like 3 years? I'm pretty sure he was drafted in 2017, right?
I'm not sure.
Because
2015. I mean 2018. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So then, you can make that case because it's only his second year in the league and he's already getting those stats.
Mm-hmm.
You can make
listen to Cam Newton's. He's 103 for 156.
Not terrible.
That's absurd. Only missing like 53 passes. 2 touchdowns.
That's bad.
7 interceptions.
Yeah, that's really bad. Like I said, he's a system guy. I don't think
he has a really solid team. They lost like one player. Maybe like they lost like 1 or 2 players. That's not a huge deal.
They still have Julian Edelman. Who else? Julian Edelman's like the only guy I know on that team still.
Yeah, same.
Wow. Interesting. All right. Well, we can move on from that then.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw something after we recorded the last podcast, and I kind of thought this was hilarious. So, do you know who Colin Cowherd is?
No.
Okay, well, he's a talk show host on ESPN, and he does like predictions and stuff like that for like different leagues.
Yeah.
And he said he said at the beginning of the beginning of the NFL season, he was like, the Ravens are going to steamroll the league. They're going to go 16-0. You know what he said about the Steelers? They're going to go 7-9. So people watching this will agree that Colin Cowherd has a lot of hot takes. But I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Like, did you see the Ravens having an undefeated season?
No.
What were they, like 14-2 last year?
Maybe.
I think they were 14-2. They competed for the AFC Championship, right? Or the
Mm-hmm.
NFC. Yeah. I don't know. I think I thought that was a little funny. Like I don't know a whole lot about like power rankings.
They went 14-2.
Yeah, 14-2. So I don't know a whole lot about power rankings, but I don't know. It seems like a bit of a hot take to me. Do you think anybody saw the Steelers being as good as they are? No?
Mm-mm.
I think it is. Do you think it's coaching, quarterback, offensive line?
Everything's offensive line.
Really?
Everything in football is offensive line. People praise the quarterback, praise the receivers, praise the running backs, praise the cornerback, praise the DBs. The offensive linemen don't get enough credit. Think about it like this. Can you play a football game with no protection?
No.
If you're a quarterback.
No.
Can you play a football game if you have shitty ass protection as a quarterback?
Not very well.
Exactly. Can you play a football game with insane protection?
Yes.
Exactly. So everything starts at those 5 right there. The center and the left guard and the right guard are 3 the most important players on the field, because if it's a pass, they got to have good pass blocking. If it's a run, they have to open up that A, B, or C gap so that the running back can get through one of those gaps, and the running back has to make the read with a middle linebacker. So the blocking has to be absurd if you're a lineman, and you can't play a football game.
You feel like it's an underrated position?
I think it is the most underrated position.
Interesting.
I mean, I think it goes offensive lineman and then quarterback, because you can't win games without a shit
What about the
quarterback.
defensive line? I feel like people are going to get on your ass about the defensive line.
I would say defensive line is 3rd.
Really? Yeah, well, because defense wins games. Like you can't win a game if the other team's scoring on you.
Exactly. So. And you want to get as much pressure on the quarterback as possible so they make bad decisions. And then I would say the running back is 4th. DBs are 5th, like all the DBs. Safeties are 6. No, yeah. Wait, are safeties DBs? I don't know. I think that the defensive line is 3rd and the DBs are 4th, actually. I take that back. Not running back. DBs.
You don't need to go through all of them, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, defense does win championships, but I mean, you have to have an offense as well.
I thought this was interesting. So, you obviously know who Stephen A. Smith is, right?
Of course.
First Take. So he said something. I've been watching him, and he said something that was like, I don't know. So we know about the Nets, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, now that Kevin Durant's back, Kevin Durant is, quote, on the clock to win a championship. Do you think this is true? Like,
I think they can beat the Lakers.
Stephen A. Smith basically said that Kevin Durant has no excuse not to win a championship with this team around him.
I agree.
I think I agree too. And they were bringing up some good points in the thing I watched this morning. It's like Kevin Durant, even though he's coming back from like an injury that no athlete like returns the same from,
mm-hmm.
He's a guy that can score 27 points in his sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's just that's the way he is. He's like he can score 27 a game in his sleep. He's 7 foot tall, 6'11", 7'6" wingspan, guard skills that can shoot the ball. Like his core is not with his athleticism, which is where the Achilles injury really affects people. Mm-hmm. Like he is a skilled player. He doesn't rely totally on his athleticism to get buckets. So I think that's true. Are they better than the Bucks?
What?
Are the Nets better than the Bucks?
The Bucks?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about them. I'm not even gonna lie.
Are they better than?
So.
But that's the thing though, is like we haven't actually seen the Nets play.
I know, but I think the Nets are with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, I think that it's a better team than just one person carrying regular season and then them getting shit on in the postseason.
Giannis needs another guy. Like Chris Middleton's great, but Giannis needs another guy.
Yeah.
I said that last time. Like he really does need another person.
I agree.
Are they better than the Celtics?
Can't close games. They cannot close games for their life.
But even then, like they get more and more playoff rounds under their belt. Like eventually, they're going to start to put something together.
Eventually, but it's going to take time.
But do you think that Kevin Durant, a guy who has not gone to the finals other than once without the Golden State Warriors, do you think he's going to be any better in a late?
I think he has people on his team.
He has Kyrie Irving, who's also been to, and won one finals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Kyrie Irving, you can't really rely on him that much. He seems like he's a little
ball hog.
Skittish.
He's a ball hog.
Not even that, dude. Have you seen like all the mental shit he's dealing with?
No, what's he dealing with?
Dude, he's just like, I don't know, he's crazy.
Really?
He didn't play the entire season pretty much this year because of mental health.
Oh, jeez.
I think that's what it was. I don't think he had any like serious injury. I might be getting that. Let me fact check myself, but I'm pretty sure you didn't play because of mental health, which is kind of bullshit. You're making $40 million a year. You fucking play a basketball game. Like that pisses me off. That makes me angry. That actually makes me really angry. You're getting paid millions of dollars. You don't get to sit out of basketball games because you're sad. Like that's a little bullshit. A shoulder injury. Okay. So he was injured, but he also like there were several like outbursts he had on social media, and I don't know. He seems like he's a liability almost.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can base the team's success around Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant working well together because I genuinely think, mark my words, Kevin Durant will be playing a majority of the season alone.
You think?
I'm almost positive. I think Kevin Durant will play a majority of the season alone, or he will get injured again or re-injure his Achilles, and Kyrie will play a majority of the season alone, or neither of them will play again. I don't know that they're a playoff contender. That's just my take on it.
What do you think about the Nets and the playoffs?
The Celtics?
Who else?
When was the last time the Nets were in the playoffs, like legitimately?
No, I mean like if they make the playoffs this year, who do you think will beat them out?
The Celtics.
What round do you think they'll lose?
First round. I think they're a first round exit if they make the playoffs.
Oh wow! So if they played the Bucks, you think they would lose to them?
100%.
The Heat.
Who's gonna guard Giannis?
Kevin.
You're gonna stop Giannis. You do realize the only reason the Celtics figured out how to it was the Celtics that beat the Bucks, right? Like I'm not imagining that.
No, the Heat beat the Bucks.
The Heat, yeah. How do you think they stopped? How do you think they won? They stopped Giannis, but they stopped Giannis with big guys. What big guy do the Nets have?
He also didn't play 2 games.
Who?
Giannis.
That's true. He was, yeah.
He got hurt mid-series, and then he only played half a game because he got hurt again.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the Nets are going to be good for at least another 2 years.
I could see 2, yeah.
But they're a tricky squad because Kevin Durant's coming off of a really awful injury, and Kyrie Irving is he's a liability.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you're going to get out of that guy. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They have Karis LeVert, who I really like. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the Houston Rockets? And I'm gonna throw a curveball at you after this. But what do you think about the Houston Rockets?
I think they're a good regular season team.
What round did they exit the playoffs?
Second.
I think it was the second round against the Heat. Oh no, wait.
What?
Yeah, it was the second against the Lakers. Sorry.
I was like, huh?
Yeah, I was still thinking about the Heat Bucks that we just talked about. No, they lost second round against the Lakers because that was when the Lakers went on to play Denver.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm gonna throw a curveball at you is they just lost Mike D'Antoni as their head coach. Guess
Damn.
where Mike D'Antoni's going?
Where?
The Brooklyn Nets. He's gonna be an assistant coach for Steve Nash.
Jeez. Who's
Uh,
the Who's the head coach for the Rockets now?
don't know. Actually, it didn't say. I don't think they found one yet.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be that good this year then.
Yeah, I don't know.
It depends which coach. It depends who's their coach.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna take a lot of adjusting too.
that's fair. I don't know because Russell Westbrook and James Harden. I don't know how much I love that duo.
I don't like it that much. I think
Right. It seems weird.
I think those two together actually hold the team back.
What makes you say that?
Well, let's say they give Harden the ball, like he inbounds it. I mean, he's the one taking it up the court. Let's just say that. He doesn't have an open three or any open shot, passes it to Russell. Russell doesn't have an open shot, passes it to someone else. They don't have anything. They pass it back to James Harden. James Harden just throws it up, or he passes it back to Russell, and Russell just tries and goes in. It's just those two shooting 3/4 of the time.
I don't know. They had some really good shooting games as a team. I just don't think that their play styles fit each other. Like they're both very elite scorers.
Yes, they're both very, I don't want to say ball hogs, but I mean.
Oh, Russell Westbrook's not a ball hog. He's averaging several assists a game. I think in the tens. He may have had 9 this year. I think it was 9. But he's leading the league in assists pretty much every year. Like I don't think they're ball hogs. I just think they both have the same mentality, which is to score the ball. And I don't know. I don't feel like they suit each other very well.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I'm going to throw another curveball at you, though.
All right.
The 76ers are looking at James Harden as a serious trade option.
For who?
I don't know who they would trade. They'd have to give up somebody good, though. You can't just get James Harden and not give away somebody pretty solid. I'm guessing they would probably give up Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons. Or they'd give up like a draft pick and then some like shitty player. But
they'd probably have to give up like 2 draft picks.
They might. But I don't know. So that's not even the point. It's is he a good fit for the 76ers? So let's do theoreticals here. Okay, so let's do theoreticals. Hold on, really quick.
All right.
You put James Harden on a team with Joel Embiid. Does that team do well? Like they get rid of Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is in Houston now, let's say.
Okay.
Does that team do well? James Harden and Joel Embiid.
I think they do better than average, but not amazing.
You don't think they're a championship contender?
No.
The Sixers are a first-round exit every year, let me remind you.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think they're going to go further than the first round?
No.
You think that the Rockets getting to the second round had anything to do with James Harden?
I think it was also Russell Westbrook.
Well, Mike D'Antoni too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different factors, and they have that. That's the thing about that Rockets is they're really deep. Like, they are really deep. They have House. They have
Harden and Westbrook, of course.
Harden and Westbrook. I'm trying to think of their roster. For some reason, the roster always slips my mind.
Yeah, same.
Hold on, let me go look at it because they are super deep, and they have a lot. Oh, they have PJ Tucker, who is really awesome. Sorry. All right, now, yeah, Daniel House. They have Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's a great role player. Robert Covington, one of the best defensive players in the league. They have
Tyson Chandler.
Ben McLemore, who came out of the backcourt, was super great off the bench.
Mm-hmm. Tyson Chandler.
Who?
Tyson Chandler.
Tyson Chandler, I don't know. He's not an impact player anymore, I don't feel like.
I mean, he's good for rebounds. That's really it.
But he doesn't even really hardly play.
That's true.
He was averaging – how many minutes a game was he averaging this year? This year he averaged 8 minutes a game. So he's not really an impact player.
Austin Rivers is good.
Austin Rivers is a good role guy.
Yeah.
I think their big pieces, though, are Harden, Westbrook, Covington, and Gordon.
What about PJ Tucker?
And PJ Tucker, but those are like the three main pieces that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is when you eliminate James Harden, you put him on a team with Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid is the only other person on that team who's really like super impressive. Mind you, Robert Covington was on that 76ers team prior to this season. I don't know.
Just to point out something. The Brooklyn Nets did make the playoffs this year.
No, I know. Yeah.
So.
No, I mean like before that.
Yeah, I know.
Or like made a deep run into the playoffs, I guess is what.
Ooh. I forgot the Sixers had Tobias Harris.
They do. Who are the other Sixers guys? Is Ben
Al Horford.
We're eliminating Ben Simmons. We're putting Ben Simmons on the Rockets.
Yes. So Al Horford. Obviously Joel Embiid. I call him Joel Embiid. They would have Harden. Who else?
Right, like that roster doesn't really jump out at you.
Not at all.
So,
I think I think they would max make it to round 2.
I think they're a round 2 team. Maybe Eastern Conference Finals if other teams just choked.
Yeah, if other teams just choked.
But I don't know because the bubble also changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
The bubble changes a lot. So
I think to be a final, even just a playoff contender team, they would need Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Ben Simmons.
Okay, so what do you say if we take Joel Embiid off? Well, they wouldn't trade Joel Embiid. Is they're only big.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would.
So Ben Simmons is really the only guy they would be able to get rid of, and then maybe some draft picks.
I think they need all three of them if they want to be a playoff contender team.
They'd probably have to have all three. Because Ben Simmons is one of the best passing point guards in the league. Joel Embiid is a great big. Harden hasn't really had too many great bigs around him. I mean, he had Clint Capella for a while. But outside of that, that's the other thing. Is like James Harden has been in a small ball system for a good portion of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm curious to see him with like a solid 20 point, 10 rebound big like Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Joel Embiid is the dude's made of glass. I saw a stat, and you're gonna like this one because it's Bam Adebayo. I think I posted it on the Instagram. I did a while back. Yeah, right here. Joel Embiid has 209 games played in 6 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Bam Adebayo has 223 games played in 3 seasons. Joel Embiid is injury prone.
Yeah.
Like, so you put James Harden on that team, but then you have an injury prone big who, when he's healthy, though, is really, really, really talented. I had a chance to see him play in person. He had 35 and 14. Like, he's really good. But I just don't know that they have that it factor. They did go to the Eastern Conference Finals with the Raptors in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We have to give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about Kawhi Leonard, dude? How do you feel about that guy? Because I feel like he's been really hyped up in the last, 3 seasons.
I think so, too.
He's good, but I don't know that the Jordan comparisons are fair.
Not even close, dude.
Dude, the people are comparing him, they're calling him, the next Michael Jordan. And they're, comparing their play. I can see, similar play styles, but that guy is nowhere near on the level of Michael Jordan. Nobody in this league is. And I'm going to get crucified. LeBron is not the greatest player of all time. Listen to my words. LeBron is not the greatest player of all time.
I agree.
He's probably second or third, but he's not the greatest player of all time.
Put above him, besides Michael Jordan.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What?
Yeah.
To me, it's a toss-up between him and Kobe Bryant at the 2 spot. If anything, they're tied. But I think Kobe – first of all, Kobe has the second highest scoring game in NBA history with 81 points.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe has 5 championships, 1 three-peat, and then a back-to-back.
Wait, how many finals has Kobe lost, and how many has he been to?
I don't know. I don't know. I know he's been to 5 that he's won. I think he's like 5-7. No, not 5-7. No, like
That'd be absurd.
no, not 5-7. Look up how many he's been to.
That's what I just did. He's been to 7.
Okay, so he's 5-2 in the finals.
And where's LeBron?
Right now 4-10. No, not 4-10. No,
6.
4-6. Yes,
Wait.
4-6. It's either 4-6 or 4-7.
With the Heat, one with the okay, yeah.
4-6.
Either 4-6 or 4-11 or 4-7.
I don't really take LeBron's finals record into account because he's also the only player to ever go to 10 straight finals. Okay, so I saw another thing, and I should have screenshotted this to post it, but the Golden State Warriors are the first team since 1957 to go to 5 straight NBA finals. The first team since 1957. LeBron is a single player, and he's been to 10 straight.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's more impressive.
I don't know.
Like,
I just think that if you go to the finals that many times, you should have at least a .500 record.
and above 500, yeah, 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. His series against the Mavericks and his first finals with the Heat.
Yeah.
He played terribly. He averaged 17 a game, which for LeBron, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Like
And
Jason Terry, it's a big thing.
The next 2, right?
Hmm?
Didn't we win the next 2 and then lost to the Spurs?
Yeah. You won against the Thunder and the Spurs, and then you lost to the Spurs.
Okay, yeah. And then he went to Cleveland.
And then you went to Cleveland. So while we're on the subject of LeBron, I wanted to bring up the Cleveland Cavaliers because this is an interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Cavaliers. So LeBron is in Cleveland. They automatically become a playoff. They automatically become a finals contender. The second he comes in 2015, they're automatically a finals contender.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves the Heat. The Heat are like a first, second round playoff exit.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the finals for the next however many years with the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves to go to Los Angeles. What happens to the Cavaliers?
They become shit.
They become a glorified G League team. Bless you.
I can feel it coming on. Oh.
They become a glorified G League team. So while I don't think LeBron is the greatest player of all time, I think he's the greatest impact player of all time. Meaning there is something very real called the LeBron effect. Whatever team he is on automatically becomes a threat in whatever conference he's in.
Yep.
Before anybody tries to argue with me, people, when he was in Cleveland, said he couldn't do what he was doing in the Western Conference. He only didn't go to the finals last year because he injured his groin. I genuinely believe he is the greatest impact player of all time.
I agree.
Not only he's one of the greatest players of all time, but he's maybe second or third all time for greatest players and then first for impact.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan retired that year, and the Bulls were still a 50-win team. Michael Jordan went to the Wizards. They were not a playoff contender. There's levels to this. The thing is, where Jordan gets him is Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. Jordan was playing against Karl Malone and John Stockton, against Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, a Celtics dynasty that, by the way, nobody thought anybody would beat them for like 5 years. Like, Michael Jordan still holds the playoff record for most points in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan's on a different level. Like, there's no comparison to him. And so that's why the LeBron, y'all want to see a good comparison. Jimmy High Roller did a comparison between them two where he broke them down statistically. And yeah, I don't know. I think you have to be really not stupid, but you have to be a little delusional to think that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time when you still have Jumpman himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. There's another interesting hot take on Stephen A. Smith.
What do you say?
He said that if Kevin Durant, if Kevin Durant wins a finals with the Brooklyn Nets, he is entered into the greatest of all time discussion. Do you think his 2 championships with Golden State were worth anything? That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like his Golden State championships were worth it.
Players on his team.
Huh?
He had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on his team. And Andre Iguodala.
And JaVale McGee.
And JaVale McGee.
And DeMarcus Cousins, who, yes, he was plagued by injury, but still, like, they had 5 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Yeah, I don't think his championships were worth anything with Golden State. I'm gonna get crucified for that. I know, because there's gonna be some Golden State fans gonna be like, "Fuck you guys!" Like, no, okay. I do not think his championships with Golden State were worth as much as people give him credit for. I think if he wins a championship with the Brooklyn Nets, I think he will be entered into
top 20.
He will be entered. He's a top 10 player all time. Top 10 player all time, easily.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll be entered into the talk about entering into the GOAT discussion.
If he goes back to back, he will be.
Yeah, if he wins back-to-back championships, if he proves that he can do what he did with Golden State with any team, sure, then I'll give him that. Because then he has 4 rings, 2 of which were not with a 73-9 Golden State Warriors team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing to lead into, though, is do you think that lack of final success and lack of playoff success can be attributed to Russell Westbrook? Do you think Russell Westbrook could be a big factor holding teams back in their playoff success? Because think about it. The second Kevin Durant, granted he went to the best team in the league, but the second Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, he was in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
3 years straight.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook hasn't been in the finals since 2012 when the Thunder went.
I think he holds him back.
You think so?
Dude.
In what way? Because I don't know the guy. Like and he's the first player since Oscar Robertson back in the 60s to average a triple-double. Like, statistically, he's not holding anybody back. I think his shooting percentage, his number of shooting are really underwhelming.
I think he's a great player.
He's a great player. He's just not a finals player. Like, he's not a playoff guy. He's a regular season, like, wow and bedazzle the crowd. Like, that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him win a championship. Like, we saw Kyle Lowry, for God's sake, win a championship. Like, we can see Russell Westbrook win one. But I think Russell Westbrook is going to have to take a smaller role, which I want to bring us back to the Harden thing, because if he goes to the Sixers, he's going to have to take a smaller role than he's had in Houston.
Right.
He's not going to be a guy that can have 33 straight 30-point games. Like, that's just not going to happen with the Sixers. I also don't know who the Sixers coach is, but I know whoever is the coach there is not going to allow that.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you think about Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns? Do you think Devin Booker needs to go somewhere else, or do you think the Phoenix Suns need to get their shit under control?
It'd be ideal for him in his situation to go somewhere else.
You can come down here. No, I think Devin Booker needs to go somewhere else.
Imagine if he went to the Nets. The Heat.
That would be an interesting thing.
The Heat.
Have him be a shooting guard for the Brooklyn Nets. That could be dangerous.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though, is I don't know that they have enough.
If he could go to the Clippers.
Yeah.
That would be absurd.
I'm just so used to seeing him in Phoenix.
That happened.
I'm just so used to seeing him in Phoenix. Like, it's hard to imagine him anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's insane whenever it comes to playing.
So good. Like, he's like, if he was just in a better system, he would probably already have a ring. Do you think he could take Russ's spot on the Rockets?
I think it would work better if he were on the Rockets and so were Russ and Harden.
Those are 3 high-volume scorers on the same team. There's not going to be enough for all of them.
I think they would find a way.
That could work actually because you get 3 high volume scorers. The other 2 guys are having a bad night, and the third guy can do really well.
Yeah.
And then if all 3 of them are having a good night, then the other team's fucked.
Yeah, because they're going to be trying to guard those 3 people way better, so they might have to double team every now and again, and that leaves someone open.
Yeah. What do you think about the Miami Heat playing zone for a majority of the NBA Finals this year?
I don't know about that. We should have played more man.
I think so too.
I think we would have had a much better shot if Goran Dragic wasn't out. That fucked us. If Bam Adebayo wasn't out for like 2 games.
Yeah, if he didn't miss any games, that would have been a much different series.
Yeah.
If he had played better, it would have been a much different. He didn't play very.
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, Kelly Olynyk played better than him
For a couple of games. Bam came back and actually did pretty well in the later games. But
Yeah.
Kelly Olynyk, I also think Kelly Olynyk's pretty underrated. After watching him play in that series, I think he's pretty underrated.
He's amazing.
He's pretty good. Like, I don't know that he's a franchise guy, but he's pretty good. And I didn't know he had that offensive skill set that he had.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know why.
I think you had your main guys back and you gave Jimmy a bit of a break. Like, Jimmy played 47 minutes in game 5.
He needed to play the whole game, the entire finals, which is like almost impossible.
No, it's hard to do. So I think you give those guys back and you give Jimmy a bit of a break, and they're dangerous. I don't know. Do you think they'll be back in the finals next year?
No, I think they'll go to the Eastern Conference Finals though.
Fair. I think it's so funny. Do you think it's funny how like people count out the Raptors even though they were the defending champions?
I counted them out because
they didn't have Kawhi.
They didn't have Kawhi. I didn't really think about it too much in depth, but
yeah,
they are amazing.
I think that's all the talking points. Oh yeah, so I wanted to run through. I wrote an article on Medium, medium.com/Phoenix Wiles. Shameless plug. I wrote an article on Medium about how I believe that the Eastern Conference is a sleeper conference, and I wanted to get your opinion on some of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote, I said the Miami Heat, this team speaks for itself in terms of their ceiling after their performance in the bubble this year. I think it's safe to say that this team is just one piece away from a title. How do you feel about that?
Agreed.
You think they get one more guy and they're good to go?
If they get one more really good player, yeah. And I think this year's going to be interesting to see how the Heat play because this was Tyler Hero's first year. And look how he did.
Oh, you forget about Tyler Hero. That's facts. Wow. Yeah, I wrote about Tyler Hero in this article actually because
Tyler Hero is going to have a year under him. He's going to be absurd next year. I'm calling it.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I wrote Tyler Hero
at least 12 points a game.
What?
He's going to be averaging at least 12 points a game.
He's already averaging 12 a game. I think he's
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs? Hold on, no.
Playoffs. I don't think
Tyler Hero was definitely averaging more than 12 points a game.
Wait, yeah, that's right here. I think he'll average like
20. For the season, he was averaging 13 and a half.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be averaging 20. I take that back.
Yeah, I was about to say. No, so I wrote in the article, I said, Tyler Hero, talk about a hell of a rookie. The guy's confidence and swagger is unparalleled by any other player his age. For a rookie, you expect inconsistency, and we definitely saw some of that. We saw inconsistency with him. Like, he would have games where he'd score 30, and then he'd have a game where he'd score 8. Like, I think once he gets, like, 2 or 3 more years under his belt, franchise player. Easily. Like, franchise guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally forgot about him. Yes, if he plays even the slightest bit better than he played this year, I think they're a finals contender. I forgot about him, to be honest with you.
And then I think if Crowder can get his shit together and stop fouling so much, I think he'll be a really big player for us. because he knocks down threes like it's no one's business.
Oh, he's a spot up guy.
He's
All
absurd.
right. So let's talk about the Boston Celtics.
They need someone who can finish. They just need to finish out games. That's it.
Give some
They
examples.
had every game against the Heat. They could have won every single game against the Heat. Couldn't finish a game.
So I wrote in here, I said, I don't know that we've seen a Boston team this talented since 2008 when they won their championship with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo, and Ray Allen.
I agree. But
Jason Tatum is undoubtedly a superstar and will continue to carry this organization for many years to come. Superstar. We can agree on that 100%. Jaylen Brown is a freakish athlete and complements Tatum super well in the backcourt.
Yeah, and I think Marcus Smart does as well.
I'm getting to Marcus Smart. On top of these two guys, you throw in Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart. This is a hungry team full of young talent who have potential to shake up the league. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I attribute their Eastern Conference Finals. I attribute their loss in the Eastern Conference Finals this year to inexperience. It's fair. They don't have a whole lot of guys who have been to the playoffs a whole lot.
I would just say closing out games.
But closing out games has to do with experience.
That's true.
Get a bunch of veteran players who have been in those situations before and they close out games better.
I mean, Jimmy's never been in the Eastern Conference Finals. Look what he did.
He has, yeah.
Bam Adebayo hasn't. Look what he did. No one.
They got the bubble. If they weren't, I already said this. If they weren't playing in the bubble, the Celtics would have beat that team.
I don't know.
Crowd momentum is super important. The Celtics would have beat that Heat team if they weren't playing. I think it would have gone to game seven. Advantage.
I think it would have gone to game.
It would have been a closer series than it was for sure.
Okay. I think the Heat would have won every single game at home, and I think the Celtics would have won 3 games at home at least. So I think it would have gone into a game 7. I don't know how the last game would turn out. I think it also depends who won the last game.
I said the Celtics are right up with the Bucks and the Heat if they continue on the same path they're on. Brad Stevens is a great coach. Brad Stevens is a really good coach. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a pretty deep bench. I think we can agree on that too.
But they need a better bench.
They need a better big. Like that Tice guy is great, but
Tice is amazing.
But I think they need somebody like Bam.
Yeah.
Like a bigger, stronger, more athletic guy. Like Tice could get rebounds.
That's about it.
But he wasn't much of a scorer. Like
he was a pretty good scorer.
No, but his scoring was off of offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he could have scored off the dribble or on a spot up or like facing up to somebody. Like I don't think that was his strong suit. So I feel like if they can get a guy like Bam Adebayo who can like make a move and get to the hole, like that's a big thing for the Celtics.
Mm-hmm. And you also
Toronto Raptors.
What?
The Toronto Raptors. I said I have mixed feelings about this squad because while they were the 2019 champs, they lost Kawhi and couldn't seem to pull it together in the playoffs. Fran VanVleet is probably one of the best pure point guards I have seen in the NBA. That's a fact. You can't argue with me on that. That dude is so good.
He's so talented.
Not even talent. Like he's just scrappy. Like scrappy, hard-nosed, and a well-rounded player who can get this Raptors team rolling on any night. Kyle Lowry speaks for himself. This is a player who's going to give you 150% every night. We can agree on that. Like Kyle Lowry is the hardest playing player in the league.
Yeah.
Dude is like ridiculous. He's someone that can affect the game in other ways than his scoring, which is a fact. He's a true veteran, also completely factual. What do you think about Spicy P, Pascal Siakam? You think once he gets older, he's going to be pretty good?
How many years has he been in the league?
I think 2 or 3.
Okay, I give him his 5th year. He's going to be absurd.
I think so too. He's like what, 6'11"?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
And he played really well in the 2019 finals, which is why he kind of made a name for himself.
You know who we need to watch out for this year?
Who?
Nuggets. Calling it right now.
Jamal Murray and Jokic figured something out this year, and they're going to be back.
I'm calling it right now. the Western Conference Finals is going to be the exact same as it was this year.
I agree. I think if Spicy P can develop his arsenal, he's good. Like, he is going to be dangerous. What do you think about the Indiana Pacers?
Overrated.
They were the 4th seed this year. They were ranked above the Heat.
And we swept them.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. You think they're a regular? I think – okay, so this is my take on it. I think
first-round playoff exit.
I think the success of that team is fully dependent on the health and strength of Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
I think if Victor Oladipo is not averaging 25 a game, they're not going anywhere. I think they need another piece because T.J. Warren is good. Like, Domantas Sabonis is good.
I'm looking at their roster right now. They got the Holiday brothers.
They don't have Drew Holiday.
They have Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday.
Yeah, those are – okay, yeah. I forget that Drew Holiday has 2 brothers.
Yeah. Is TJ McConnell starting?
I'm going to mute myself really quick. Go ahead and just keep talking.
Is TJ McConnell starting? Give me a thumbs up if he is. Okay. Oh, you don't know. Okay.
I think so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Gotcha. Victor Oladipo depends on his healthiness.
Yeah.
And then TJ Warren's absurd as well. Damn, he's getting paid.
I think TJ Warren's going to come into his role over the next couple of years.
Oh, you can't forget about Jeremy Lamb either.
Jeremy Lamb, I don't know that I've seen him play super well in a long time.
Malcolm Brogdon, he just needs to get – for someone that's getting paid $20 million a year.
Is that Malcolm Brogdon's salary?
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't think he plays a whole lot. Go look at his stats.
Points, 16.5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rebounds, 4.9.
Yeah, okay. He's a good role player then.
Huh?
He's a good role player then. I think he's a role player that they need.
Yeah.
All right, well, my phone's dead. So we're going to be winging it from here on out. The last team on there, though, is the 76ers and the Nets. So the 76ers, I wrote in there that they're confusing to me because actually, you know what? We're going to do something kind of cool this podcast. We're going to go ahead and screen share. Let me make sure I don't have any weird stuff open. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my blog right now.
I can't see your screen.
Well, I'm not screen sharing yet.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and screen share, and we are going to run through my blog. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. I hope it's still recording because that would really suck.
It is.
If it wasn't.
And I can see your screen.
Well, it says it's still recording for the screen recording, but anyway. Shoot. You know what? Actually, nah, we don't need to do this. That's fine. I was going to try, but I don't want to have to. I mean, we're still going to do it. I just need to figure out what I'm doing.
Dude, you just screen share and then just act like it's normal.
No, because I was signed into the wrong account, but I didn't want to put in passwords and shit like that. This is a good episode, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot better than the first episode that we did together.
Yeah.
A lot better. I think it'll all come with experience, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's run through. This way you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the article. So let's go through the last 2 teams. I have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote in here that the Philadelphia 76ers, the team is confusing. On paper, they're one of the best teams in the East. I don't know what it is about the playoffs that seem to make them fold every year. I'm reluctant to attribute their lack of playoff success to inexperience because they've been in the playoffs for several years in a row now. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are 2 guys who should complement each other extremely well. And while they do in the regular season, I have yet to see that chemistry truly come alive in the playoffs. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely hope they can find a way to make all their moving parts work in harmony, but something has to give in order for these guys not to be a first-round elimination.
I agree.
100%. Like these guys, I feel like they should be a lot better than they are, and they're not. It's a little annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, the Brooklyn Nets. So, the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know. I don't know that they've ever been loaded with this much talent before, which is true. They haven't.
Mm-hmm.
They have Karis LeVert for a supporting cast player and will provide necessary energy off the bench when Kyrie is out. I have a hard time really predicting their ceiling because I have yet to see them play a game together. I don't think we have anything to worry about with KD. This is a fact. But Kyrie is a different story. He seems to have been extremely skittish in the years since he left Cleveland, meaning he's all over the place. Like he has like attitude problems. He's injured a lot. Like I don't know if we can really. I don't know. I think if they're both healthy and they both play well, they could compete for a championship in 2021. You feel like that's accurate or no?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So we ran through that. That was easier than expected. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the Eastern Conference. I think one of the last things I want to talk about, and we can get into this just for a little bit, is my guy, Zion Williamson. Zion freaking Williamson, dude.
Freaking nature.
An absolute fucking unit. Problem. His knee.
I was going to say, he's very
foot. He seems very early on to be injury prone. And he also seems very early on to be very out of shape. What do you think? Do you need Zion Williamson needs to cut some weight?
Some fat.
Well, he's not. His fat percentage was like super low. I think he needs to cut weight in general.
Why?
He's 285 pounds, Corey.
Yeah.
Do you understand the damage that does to somebody's joints?
That's true.
Think about it. He's jumping 45 inches at 285 pounds. You know what that's doing to his knees?
I think he's 6'5" or 6'6", right?
6'6", according to the NBA Combine.
Personally, I think he should cut out 40 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. If he's like 240, dude, first of all, you can imagine how much his bounce will go up if he's only 240.
And, I mean, look at how much LeBron weighs in LeBron's height.
Yeah, LeBron's 260.
And he's like 6'8". 6'8".
I don't know. I think do you think Zion Williamson will be an all-star in the next 3 years?
Next 3 years, yes.
Do you think he will be better than Ja Morant long term?
Yes. Sadly.
Really?
I love Ja Morant, but yes.
Wow.
And you know that I was Ja Morant.
Ja Morant all season, bro.
I think this year Ja Morant was better.
Ja Morant was better not stat-wise, but from just an overall like performance standpoint, he played more games. He had good stats over more games, and his team didn't even make it to the playoffs, so I don't even really know that they could.
I mean, you said that if you vote Zion Williamson for Rookie of the Year, then you're smart. Like, if you vote Ja Morant, you're stupid, and that Ja Morant should not.
I 100% think if Zion Williamson played more than 50 games,
did he play more than 50?
Rookie of the Year.
Did he play 50 games?
No, he played 19 games.
I was gonna say.
Or 27 games. It was something like that.
Yeah.
He played like less than 30 games though. So I think if they both played the same amount of games, Zion Williamson undoubtedly Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go against my guy. I think Ja Morant is going to have the better overall career.
Really?
I think so.
I feel like it's just also two totally different play styles.
100%, two totally different positions.
Yeah.
But even then, like, Mike and LeBron played two totally different positions, and people still compare them all the time.
True.
And two totally different play styles.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like John Morant is going to have a better overall career.
Together.
But I think the reason I say that John Morant's going to have an overall better career is because John Morant is set up better for a long career. Zion Williamson looks like a guy, if he doesn't fix his weight issue, like he's going to be out of the league in 7 to 8 years. John Morant could be in the league for 20 years if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think he's like a better shot for like a longer, like better career. But like in a 5-year span, Zion Williamson is the better player.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get a little less laxed in his play style.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very kind of just chill. Like, I think he needs to get a little better about that. But I think, I don't know. They're both exciting. I'm excited to see what Zion's going to do next year.
I agree. So,
what do you think about Lonzo Ball? Future All-Star?
I'm trying to think which one's the new one coming in.
What do you mean?
The new ball brother. What's his name?
LaMelo? They both declared for the draft. So LaMelo and LiAngelo are both in this year's draft.
Okay. I don't know if Lonzo is or not.
You don't know if Lonzo is going to be an All-Star?
Don't know.
I think LaMelo is going to be really good.
Is he the one that's playing overseas right now?
He was the one that was in Australia.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I think he will. Yeah.
LaMelo.
We got to see how he plays first. I take that back.
Well, he's supposed to go to either the Knicks and whoever the other two teams are. The Knicks, the Warriors, or the
Warriors said they don't want him. So he's not going to the Warriors. Warriors do not want him.
Really? Who said that?
Steve Kerr.
Oh. Steve Kerr doesn't have any control.
He's the fucking head coach.
Head coaches don't control who gets drafted.
Who does? The GM?
GMs and the owners. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably a good place to cut the episode, though.
Hold on, I'm looking up. I'm just fact checking myself. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I just saw that a long time ago, and I thought it was Steve Kerr who said that, but it wasn't even anybody on the team.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you know who it is.
I don't know who it is, but I know I was like thought it was a little weird that the Warriors wouldn't want. But I also don't think LaMelo should go to the Warriors because they're about to have all their superstars back and healthy.
Yeah.
Like he would just be warming the bench at that point.
But he'd be a good bench warmer.
I guess he'd probably be a good role. He could be a valuable guy off the bench.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's probably a good place to cut the episode. This is a much longer episode than yesterday.
How long was this one?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look after we end the video. Yeah, but that's it for this episode, guys. Sorry it was a little all over the place, but I feel like we had a lot to talk about.
We did, yeah.
So, yep. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Later, y'all.
Later, dudes.